Jackie Brown is a crime film and is directed by Quentin Tarantino and stars Pam Grier, Samuel L. Jackson, Robert Forster, Michael Keaton, and Robert De Niro. And I'm once again joined by Film Guru. This is part of our Tarantino series in the lead up to his new film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So Jackie Brown is an interesting film. For me at least, it's not on the same level as Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. This one definitely feels the most different so far, and that's mainly because this wasn't based on something that Tarantino wrote. This was based on something that was pre-written. So this is a Tarantino film that's never been my absolute favorite.
I liked it, I agree. I don't think it's his strongest film, and I think it is to do with the fact that it wasn't an original concept that he wrote this. It was based upon an Elmore Leonard novel. But I do like it, but I've always said that I feel it's, in his catalogue of films, it's not the strongest, but as a film outside of his catalogue, I think it's quite well done.
The first half hour and the heist itself are probably the most exciting parts of the film. The middle section of the film is where it's kind of like, oh, this is a bit boring.
Yeah, it sort of lags a little bit there, where I felt it didn't move the same way that something like Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction did. There was sort of continuously interesting moments and it moved along at a reasonable pace, where this was a much slower film. It took a lot of time to get going.
Yeah, and I feel like it didn't need to be like 2.5 hours, because this film could have easily been told within 2 hours. Firstly, performances are just great across the board. Like, Pam Grier is amazing. Samuel Jackson gives the best performance of his entire career. Everyone else does a great job. And it's one of the biggest snubs in history that Pam Grier didn't get an Oscar nomination for this role, because this is solely her role.
Yeah, she really owns the film, I think. And the scenes with her and Sam Jackson are absolutely fantastic to watch. There's two really great actors doing what they do best.
Yeah, and her character is able to outsmart the other characters.
Yeah, she finds herself in the circumstances where she's pushed into a corner, and ultimately she comes out fighting in a way and is able to get back up on top by coming up with a plan and some ideas of how to get herself out of the situation in a better way than she found herself, I guess.
Something I liked about this film was the first half hour is mainly building up Samuel L. Jackson's character as the main bad guy. So when he first interacts with Pam Grier, you think he's going to get the upper hand on her, but instead it's just reverse, where Pam Grier outsmarts Sam Jackson, showing that she isn't just someone to be pushed around.
Ultimately, I find that Pam Grier is Samuel L. Jackson's equal in this. And the only sort of character go up to his level, I suppose, in the way he acts. And there's a scene together where he's trying to
outsmart her.
Yeah, outsmart her ultimately. She outsmarts him in such a great way, and it's done in this silhouette sort of black sequence with no light. And it's really well done, and she's just, from that point onward, she is just in control completely with him, and he's sort of like her bitch, I guess you could say.
I'm not going to deny that this isn't a good movie. It is, but in regards to, like, you know, the previous film Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown just doesn't have as many iconic moments. Like, the lines of dialogue are memorable, but like, this is probably the most forgettable one, because like I said, there's not a lot of scenes that are like, I remember that scene. It's not like Pulp Fiction, where that film had the dancing scene, the restaurant scene, killing Marvin, Harvey Keitel showing up, and Bruce Willis and Ving Rhames, you know, interacting with each other. So while Jackie Brown doesn't have as many memorable moments as Pulp Fiction, it still has enough great scenes that, you know, definitely stand out.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a handful of scenes that are really, really great. And I think, like, I agree. Like, I think it's still worth a watch, and it's still quite a good film, but it's not one of Tarantino's strongest. It just took too long to get anywhere, and I think it goes too long. It doesn't need to go for nearly 2.5 hours. It could have told the story in a simpler way. And the other thing I do like about it is it's very subtle about explaining things, and the way that when we see each character looking at the point of view of the heist at the end or the robbery at the end, it's all shot differently. Each character has a different way of being. There's chaoticness, there's confusion, but there's also a calmness, especially with Robert Forster's character standing there watching everything unfold. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like how the film didn't have to, overuse flashbacks to reveal details, because it kind of like plays it out as is. Like the scene where Samuel L. Jackson's about to shoot Pam Grier, and then like earlier, Pam Grier looked into Robert Forster's car and found his gun.
Yeah.
And then there's like a split screen where the scene with Sam Jackson and Pam Grier is going on, and then on the other side we have Robert Forster in his car, he checks his glove compartment and the gun's missing. And that sets up that Pam Grier took the gun and is pointing it at Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are little subtle things like that. There's a lot of subtext going on, a lot of bits and pieces that we don't have to be force-fed. It's just sort of there, and if you're paying attention, you pick up on it.
Overall, I still liked this movie, but yeah, it's not on the same level as his earlier films. There's still enough stuff I liked, but as a crime film, I wouldn't say it's one of the best. Like, it's definitely not Pulp Fiction or even Goodfellas.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a solid movie. It has good performances, there's some great moments in it, great interactions between characters and actors. The music's fantastic. Like, I think it's got a lot of really brilliant and well-placed music that works really well. I agree it's not the strongest in Tarantino's catalogue of films, but I still think it's a solid movie, and it's a film I've gone back to a few times and have enjoyed and saw different aspects to it. And yeah, it sort of was the end of his heist pictures, and then he went on to other genres. Ultimately, I think it's a good film. It's just not on par with the other films that he's made previous and after this. And for me, I'd give Jackie Brown 4 out of 5. I think it was solid and interesting, and I like what I saw with the film.
And I'm going to give Jackie Brown a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, be sure to like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my channel below. As always, I'm NETX5, and this is Film Guru. Thank you for watching.